Hello, and welcome back to Who Ordered Coffee. This is episode 5 of season 2. I am your guest host, Saskia, and today I am joined by Jonathon and Hanae and our special guest, Rachel. Rachel, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Rachel, and I play the harp, and I cross-stitch, and I own 7 harps.
Yes, you do. Could you say for the audience what kind of harps you have? Because you have a specific breakdown, don't you?
Okay, well, I have 3 that I specifically rent to students, and then I have 2 pedal harps. One is called Serafina.
Ooh.
The other is called Princess Sakura.
Beautiful.
Because it has cherry blossoms on it. She's really pretty. Then I have a medium-sized...
this must be the one that I've seen.
Yeah, I believe I played it at your recital. She sounds beautiful, my pride and joy.
Beautiful.
Then I have a medium-sized lever harp called Henry, because I like alliteration, Henry the harp.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a small lever harp, and her name is Rose, because she's made out of rosewood.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. That was amazing. I really love that.
Thank you for asking. It's nice being able to geek out about harps.
We love harp geeking. Yep.
All right. Today's topic is fiction books. So we will be talking about our favorite fiction books. So that leads me to our first question. What are your top 5 books that you would recommend others to read?
Who would you like to go first?
How about you go first, Jonathon?
Oh, me? Okay.
Like when you look at the teacher while they ask the question and you're like, I made eye contact. You made eye contact, Jonathon.
Oh, no. It's class all over again.
I can go first if you want.
Oh, no, it's all right. It's all right. My only problem here is that I don't know if I'll be able to recommend 5. I'll definitely be able to recommend some.
We can bring it down to like 4 or 3 or something if you want.
4. Jonathon and
Okay,
I
all right. Let's see. Literally.
Let's say top 3 books.
Top 3. Okay.
No.
They're all from the same book series. No. So my go-to recommendations are. It usually changes between which one goes first and second, but it's usually Ranger's Apprentice by John Flanagan. So he's an Australian author, and after that, it's usually Artemis Fowl by Ian Colfer. So he's an Irish, not composer, Irish author. Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Both really long series. Ranger's Apprentice is a bit longer, but both quite long and usually more geared towards like early teens. So they're fairly easy reads, but they're very. Artemis Fowl is a very intelligent story, and I still am very entertained by it. John Flanagan's work is more in the sort of epic kind of fantasy scope, so I don't know what that says about the intelligence of it. It's also great. But I would highly recommend both of those book series. I struggle to recommend the third.
They don't have to be book series. They can just be like a book. That's what I was thinking.
Just a book. Ooh, you may have to circle back to me, but just as the placeholder, if you will. Let's put a placeholder. The last book I can remember reading was The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, like the fictional textbook. So you may need to come back to me.
One?
Yeah. So, I mean, that was fun. I have a audiobook version of that, read by Eddie Redmayne, who plays Newt Scamander in the movies. I have an audiobook version of him in character reading his own textbook, which is quite fun. So there you go. So that's a little bonus to that. Yeah. I can elaborate more on the things I've mentioned, or if anyone else would like to take over.
How about Rachel? Do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'd love to. So one of the books that has really stuck in my mind ever since I read it was Wonderstruck by Brian Selznick. If you haven't heard of the book, it tells 2 stories simultaneously, one through writing, and it's the point of view of a boy who loses hearing in one ear, and then the other one is through these very beautiful like drawings in black and white.
Ooh.
And it's from the perspective of a girl who's deaf, so she can't hear anything, and it's just all visual, so her story is visual. And I find it's just a really creative way of telling a story, or 2 stories, and I don't want to spoil any more of it, but it's really good. I love it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sounds really interesting. Yeah.
It's on my bookshelf. It's just such a pretty cover, but I won't geek out about book covers just yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Another book is called Sophie's World by, I believe it's pronounced Jostein Gaarder. It's a Norwegian author, and the book has been translated to English and a bunch of other languages. It is about like the history of philosophy, and it's told through the eyes of a teenage girl who receives like a mysterious note in her letterbox asking, "Who are you and where does the world come from?" So it's a really cool book because the author is a philosophy teacher, and he uses this novel as a way of teaching basics of Western philosophy to children and young adults. And it's a very thought-provoking and captivating story. And I think lots of people should read it. It's such a interesting take on explaining such a dry topic at times.
Yeah.
And it can just get you thinking about what it means to live in this world and who we are and how did we come to be. So yeah, it's very good.
Also very fascinating. That's really good.
And then the third book I think others should read is A Guinea Pig, Pride and Prejudice.
It's back. Yes, Rachel. I'm giving Rachel 10 points.
Oh my God, yes. It made it onto it's official.
I'm giving Rachel 10 points.
Wait, am I allowed to, can I take a screenshot of, Rachel, can I take a screenshot of you holding that book?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, there it is.
By far the best book ever written. If you don't know what it is, I will... Hey, Rachel, can you send me a photo of it later so I can put up on the show notes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I should have expected this, but I'm so glad I
got
didn't
really excited
because that was such a great
Rachel's
surprise.
building up to something. I was like, oh, can it be? Will it be? You've made me extremely happy.
Fantastic. That was actually so good.
I've been holding that back. I was like, okay, I'm going to save it. I'm going to surprise Saskia. And that was the best reaction I could have asked for.
That was so good.
Oh my God.
But like the first two books that you recommended were also so good. Like you hit it so well because it was just like book 1, amazing. Book 2, also absolutely fascinating. But book 3, that's where it's at. Well done. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I think people should genuinely read A Guinea Pig, Pride and Prejudice, I mean, they should read Pride and Prejudice in general.
Of course.
Yes, obviously. Whoever hasn't yet must culture themselves.
Jonathon and Hanae.
And
I don't know what you're talking about.
But A Guinea Pig, Pride and Prejudice is just a delightful little retelling of the beloved classic. Yes. And it just happens to have pictures of guinea pigs in bonnets and top hats. It's just wonderful.
It's
What's
got
not
everything.
to love?
Yeah, it's got everything you need.
It really
Saskia's
does.
just dying inside at how they have destroyed the beautiful reputation that is Jane Austen.
Yes.
What
How
have you
dare
signed
they
yourself up
introduce
to?
guinea pigs and rodents into the
dear.
story. But it's just wonderful because, like, there's one and he has, like, a little brooch and a little pocket watch. And one has a little parasol. It's delightful.
So cute.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, that's too good. But anyway,
And another reason why I love this book
yes, please go on.
is because
Yes,
in the
continue.
background...
No, don't stop now.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Saskia's reactions.
See, this is why I shouldn't be on camera.
It was great. It was the best
I don't know
decision we
what
ever
you're
made
talking
as a
about. This is the
podcast.
best night of my life.
For people listening, we are on camera. Yeah.
So, in one of the pictures of the famous character Lady Catherine, the guinea pig counterpart of her character has a glamorous wig on and a harp in the background. And I think that just seals the
I
deal.
think it really does. Yeah. Fantastic. That's brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Saskia, for letting me talk about the guinea pig Pride and Prejudice. You're a great friend.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh yeah, no, it's our pleasure and our honor. Thank you for being here. I speak for everyone, surely.
You definitely speak for me.
Yes.
Okay, but before we derail this show anymore, Saskia, would you like to?
Sure. So the top 3 books I would recommend, obviously, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
Obviously.
The
I wonder who that
actual
is.
book. She's a very clever, witty author, and it combines like rom-com with societal commentary, and it's just a really good read. It's well written, which is great. And I think honestly, Jane Austen is really what got me into reading like well written books. Before that, I was mostly just reading like teen books, which is fine. And like they're good too, but they're not always well written. So, you know. Yeah. The next book I would recommend is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. It's a story that spans over like, I think 12 characters or something. And it's all about British Black women and like how this affects their lives. And it's just really interesting. There's like lots of different characters. And it's sort of, they all like meet each other as well. It's like one of those novels where they're not necessarily all good friends, but like they've all met before. And it's just a really good book. I don't know. Yeah.
Good book. Yeah. Fantastic. And the third one?
The third one I would recommend is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, because
very nice.
It is just so hilarious and ridiculous. It's great. My dog is totally not named after Zaphod Beeblebrox. We call him Beeble because it suits him.
That's cute. What kind of dog is Beeble?
He's a mixture. He's a Staffy cross Jack Russell and Beagle and possibly like Dachshund and some other stuff.
Oh.
Yes. He's a bit of a mix.
Yeah.
And he is 100% a cutie.
I know, he's got these like short stubby legs and this long body and this big fat buffy Staffy head. It's really cute.
Well, you'll have to send us a picture for the show notes, but also I just want to see this dog.
I have like 700 photos of him up on Facebook. Like, seriously.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I have to do a little casual stalk is what I'm hearing.
He's like my profile picture on Instagram.
I think I have seen this dog then. I feel like I have.
I'm sure you have seen this
It.
dog. I am a bit obsessed with this dog. I post about him too much.
Okay.
He's so cute, and he's so tiny that I can pick him up, you know?
Ah.
He literally runs away from me. It's quite funny. He doesn't like being picked up. He tolerates it, but he's not a big fan most of the time.
Not a fan.
No. He does like sitting on people's laps, though.
Okay. Well, he sounds like he's small enough for that, so.
He's very needy. Yeah. Anyway, Hanae, what are the top 3 books you would recommend?
First one, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, because that one's a fun little read because it's a lot easier to read than Stop Looking So Bored, Saskia.
I'm not! I'm literally thinking. That's my thinking face.
Well, okay.
I wish we recorded that.
The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Like Jonathan, I would also recommend Ranger's Apprentice by John Flanagan. I don't know what Rachel's hinting at, but I would also recommend The Guinea Pig's Pride and Prejudice.
There we go.
Because,
it's been recommended twice
Rachel
by 2 independent
showed this
people.
To me one late night. I think it was after one of my rehearsals for my graduation recital. Rachel brought it along or something, and she showed it to me there, and it was the greatest night of my life. I too will agree that
it just brings joy.
It's so cute.
Clearly, I mean, it's brought so much joy to this podcast already, so
yeah,
you can't argue with that. It's got a great track record.
So wholesome. Like, you know, who doesn't like to see cute little tiny animals dressed up in some fancy little hats and dresses? No,
Clearly, Saskia. Saskia's fighting tooth and nail not to scream at you right now.
I know, right? It's hilarious.
Thank you, Saskia, for tolerating this conversation.
Oh my god. Anyway, moving on. How about we talk about little fun things for this week?
Yes.
Rachel, would you like to go first?
I would love to go first. So, when you're talking about Beeble and how he's quite small, it made me think of how tiny my dogs are. And my parents and I have moved into a new house, so my dogs are getting used to that. And they've really enjoyed having access to my bed. So they've been like curling up and sort of almost digging underneath the blankets a little bit while I'm not there. And the other day, on Wednesday, I heard something in my room, and my little Jack Russell had so you know how with pillows they have pillowcases?
Yep.
And there's like the opening? She had tunneled away. Jessie had tunneled her way into my pillowcase. So I was sort of rolling around on the bed in my pillow.
Amazing.
Sentient pillow.
Oh my god, wow.
Yeah, so very cheeky behavior. So yeah, I thought that was the perfect thing to share for this
Oh,
podcast.
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, that was great.
It was very fun.
All right. Anyway, Hanae, would you like to go next for little fun things this week?
Wait,
Okay.
I had something. Come back to me. I did have an answer. and I forgot it.
Jonathan, what is your little fun thing for this week?
My little fun thing. My little fun thing happened earlier today. It's not particularly like fun, quirky. It's nowhere near as entertaining as Rachel's lovely little dog story.
I don't think any of our things are going to be that entertaining.
No, clearly. I mean, Rachel's already won.
I should have said, yeah,
so many
Rachel
points.
gets 10 points for her little fun thing.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. Who's keeping track of the points, by the way?
I am. I
Okay,
have
awesome.
given.
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
Am I supposed to give points for the book recommendations?
No, you're meant to
Oh,
give
you can
points
if you want.
whenever you feel like it.
Yes.
So
It's
I could
utterly
deduct
arbitrary.
points for recommending Guinea Pig, Pride and Prejudice.
Wait,
Anyway,
you can take them away.
Rachel,
take them away.
Rachel is the only one with any points. Rachel has 10 points. Okay, this is
Fantastic.
how so
Okay.
far. Continue.
All right. Okay. My very little fun thing. Totally so fun. Today they dropped
Totally.
the first 2 episodes of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. If anybody cares about that, I was
Ooh.
fairly invested in that. I mean, not as crazy as some other people, but
Didn't they release like Stranger Things today or something?
I believe I heard about that as well. But I haven't seen any. I haven't checked yet.
See,
so.
I thought that was what you would have been like.
Okay. All right. Yes. No, but you're pretty close though. Yeah.
Jonathan is an unpredictable man.
Uh-huh.
Oh
There
yeah,
you go.
so unpredictable.
So unpredictable. No, but yeah, so that was my fun thing. It was pretty cool. Like I was constantly checking to see when they were going to release it. At first it was like, oh, it looks like they're going to release at 5 p.m. And then I realized I did my time conversions wrong, and I was like, oh no, it's actually 3 p.m. That's all right. And then I checked Instagram at some point, and then they were like, you guys, we're gonna move it early. You guys get it now. I was like, okay then. Disney Plus really said F you to my schedule, because I had a whole day planned out around this release. And I was like, I'm gonna get some work and then I'm gonna watch the show. Never mind. It came out at like midday. And so I just spent most of the afternoon watching this show with my brother. And I could say, obviously no spoilers for people listening. It was great. It's fantastic. It was fantastic. It really lives up to the hype. But there you go. It's my little fun thing.
Cool.
I remembered my fun thing.
Yay.
Oh, fantastic.
So, Jonathan already knows this.
Okay.
Our other beloved member, Elliot, already knows this. But I have finally got the Animal Crossing Castle Tower that I've been looking for over
Yes.
3 months. I'm pretty sure it is. It's been longer.
Yes.
Yay.
I can finally say that I can start finishing building Minas Tirith on Animal Crossing. My true dream.
Yep.
So,
Amazing.
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 yeah, because I've been looking for months, because Animal Crossing spawns different things each day. You can't get the same thing like twice sometimes, or you have to wait. It's really annoying. Nothing's guaranteed in this game. I still never found it. Elliot technically found it for me and sent it over to my way, and I was like, thank you, I will take that. And I did. I'm happy.
I mean, I'm pretty sure even on this show, you've mentioned it for the last 4 episodes. So people listening, by the time you hear this,
done.
it would have been like the 5th week. It'll be the 5th week that you've heard about this.
Yeah, but that story has finally come to an end. I mean, not me building
fantastic.
Minas Tirith.
Just the looking for the part.
Yeah, I needed the last castle part. Now I can actually plan out where everything's going to go.
Amazing.
Yay!
And I just did a little happy dance.
I don't know anything about Animal Crossing, but I'm very happy for you. Congratulations.
I was just looking for this one thing for a very long time, and I finally have it in my possession. I wasn't totally annoying a bunch of other people with the same question. Sorry.
Week in, week out.
Yes. Jonathan, Elliot, and Adrian, I think.
And Saskia, what is your
fun little thing?
Yeah.
Yes, do share.
So, as I mentioned last week, I'm a little bit obsessed with Heartstopper.
What do you mean a little?
So I started reading. I started reading the comics. I got the first one, and then I went to buy like the next 3, and they didn't have them, but they finally came in, and I like devoured all 3 of them this week. So like the past couple of days, I read 2, 3, and 4 of the Heartstopper comics. So that was really exciting.
Fantastic. How long are they? Are they like short? Are they quick reads or are they fairly dense books?
Well, they're comics. So just a sec.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
that's
like,
a lot denser than I thought it'd be.
It's thick, but it's like pictures.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, that's quite a That's
what can I say? I am very obsessed. It's quite bad. I have watched the show 4 times, and I keep listening to songs from the soundtrack that I like. I was listening to them while I was reading the comics. It's pretty bad. I almost watched it.
It sounds like the optimal enjoyment right there.
I almost watched it a 5th time, but then I stopped myself and watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine instead. So
got to stop somewhere. Yeah, got to stop at some point.
Yes,
that's right.
Anyway, speaking of TV series, Jonathon and Hanae, did you do your homework from last week?
Hanae just slid out of frame. I think we got our answer there. That's fantastic. I'll hop in real quick because I have a short answer. My short answer is yes, I did sort of do the homework. My long answer is that I only watched the first episode of Jane the Virgin. I went and rewatched the pilot is what I've done. I did not, in fact, watch all 5 seasons because I don't know if I have the time. I don't know if I was given enough time to watch it within a week's time. You guys, it's a long... And every episode is so long. It's like... Or maybe just
it's only 40 minutes.
Only 40 minutes, she says.
I watched it 3 times.
Casual 40 minutes, yeah. Yeah, but no, I will say, I did mention this before the show, but I will say that I forgot how funny the narrator was. He's absolutely unreliable, which makes it even more funnier. Makes it funnier.
Well, I just love
What do you love?
I love how he interjects with the story later on.
That's right.
It's really fun and playful.
It's quite a clever device, actually.
I agree with Rachel. Totally know what you guys are talking about.
I don't think Hanae's ever watched this show.
I have not, and I probably never will. But I have
answer,
a redeeming quality.
Yes, we had a secret homework project.
Yeah. So Jonathan, you don't know about this. Should I tell him now or should we tell him later?
Yes.
Okay, so Rachel actually knows about this. But last night, Saskia asked me to recommend the movie. Not recommend, but like tell her which one she should watch because she couldn't make a decision last night. So it was either How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or No Strings Attached. And I was like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Haven't seen these 2, so let's go with this one. And it was the same one that Rachel recommended. So I hopped on our trio group chat. Anyway, so we were talking about those movies. And I was like, I love that we recommended the same thing, but I hadn't seen it. And so Saskia, being totally disappointed in me, told me to, if I watched both movies before the recording, I would get 100 points. I have watched both movies.
She has. I got comments about it while she was watching it. So, Hanae, as promised, you get 100 points.
Yes. I accept so
And
gracefully.
Jonathan,
Damn.
you can have 10 points for
Thank you.
rewatching your
Yes.
episode of Jane the Virgin.
Thank you. Damn, what that was a huge that was the biggest upset of the season. That was amazing.
Yeah, chaos.
It's not-
We thrive on
we've
chaos
peaked.
here.
We've peaked. The rest of the season's not going to be better than this. There's no way. 100. Oh my gosh,
No way
100 points.
whatsoever.
That's
Yeah, so
my
I
goodness.
watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days first, and I kind of died while watching it because it's extremely cringy.
It
I watched
is.
half of it last night, and then I watched the rest in the morning. And then I was like, no, I'm going to commit to this because I
You
said
did
to
it right.
Saskia, if I watch one, I get like 50 points. But then I was like, you know what? No, let's do two. So I watched the other one. And then I was like, I don't even like the main characters. They're so annoying. I liked the dog, though, that appeared in it for like 2 seconds. I was like, why didn't it appear longer? Because it's such a cute fluff ball. It's a Pomeranian. So cute. His name was Freckles. I love Freckles.
So I take it you did not like these films then?
They were okay. I don't think I'd watch them again, though.
Disappointed.
If I had to watch them with
Interesting,
Rachel
interesting.
and Saskia, I would totally watch it, but like probably not on my own.
Yeah, you just
Wow.
watch it for the amazing company of Rachel and myself.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching that film with my mum and sister when I was younger.
Which one?
10 Things I Hate About
Okay.
You.
Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You.
No.
How to lose a guy in 10 days.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
that wasn't on the list. I would.
I was like, which one is
Miss-
that?
No. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And even now we still quote, it's, I don't know how well you recall the scene, Hanae, but it's where they're in the meeting for the magazine, and one of the side characters is talking about an article that she's writing. She's like, it's a little bit gory, but upbeat. And so we still use that phrase of upbeat.
Oh my goodness. I hate her boss.
I know.
But oh my God, that chase scene at the end.
Chase scene. I want to hear about this chase scene. I have not, in fact,
The
watched
chase
this
scene
film.
at the end.
If anybody
it's
had,
literally just a rom-com. It's like
Yeah, it's just a rom-com, but it's glorious. He like, it's really good. I don't know how to describe it without just repeating the whole details of
describe
the
it.
movie.
I mean, yeah, because I have to ask now, like, so
Basically-
how do you lose a man in 10 days? I need to know this now.
well, apparently you don't.
Well, the thing is, yeah, you fall for him anyway. Oh,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
some of the rules
it's a
she gives
rom-com.
out is like, stop being clingy.
Yeah.
And she comes into his apartment one day with a box, and she has all this like junk of hers, and she just like puts it all around his apartment, and he just looks up after 5 minutes. He's like, when did this get here? So that's one way, apparently. Like, it's not bad. It's a good watch. I wouldn't watch it in the same week probably, but I'd watch it with you girls again, or even Jonathan if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
But like,
it's very.
it's if you want
It's
to sit
just a
down for a
fun,
good
cheesy
rom-com,
rom-com.
it's pick it. But there's other ones I watched, but I forgot what they were. Well, I haven't sat down and watched the movie for a while, so
So we
Yeah.
did you a service.
yeah.
Okay, anyway, moving on, shall we?
You got a sweet
let's
100
not
points
move on.
out of it, so, you know.
I did. It was worth it to get the 100 points, and you just be like, "What the heck just happened here?" And I was just like, "Hanae came in and ruined everything." Well, not ruined everything, but I had fun doing it.
So, what are we currently drinking?
Oh, she's asking the question.
So what are we currently drinking, folks? I'll go first. Okay.
Jonathan's
I am
like,
drinking.
"I'm going back."
Okay. Okay. Once again, it is 9 p.m. at night, so I'm not drinking coffee. You guys, I'm sorry. It's who ordered coffee. Not me. But I have a cup of tea. I believe it's Chinese tea. I believe it's called pu'er, which is pu'er tea. I can't get into the specifics of it because I don't know it. But it's all right. It's cold now, but it's got a slight tanginess to it. I don't know. It's like slightly bitter, but it doesn't linger. It's rather interesting. We drink a lot of tea, so partly the reason I can't tell you what it is because we just drink tea like it's water, so I couldn't even tell you which one it is because I just get handed tea all day long, so I lose track. But there you go.
Amazing.
I have what I think is pu'er. There you go.
No.
That's what I'm
What
drinking.
does the taste like? Does it taste like anything like similar to something else? Just because I'm curious. I mean, if
Probably.
you can.
Actually, funnily enough, it tastes more like coffee than you'd imagine for tea. It's got a bitterness that's not dissimilar to coffee. So, the diluted coffee, think of it like that. It's watered down diluted coffee. That's surely worth a point.
Yes, you may have a point.
Yes, I got 1 point.
I wouldn't. have thought.
Hanae is not impressed.
Okay, Hanae, would you like to go next?
Sure. Unlike Jonathan, I'm still holding up the coffee brand.
Someone has to.
Yes, it is 9:18. Yes, I'm drinking coffee. Thank you. I am drinking a new flavor today. I did it, guys.
Ooh.
It's a new flavor by Hunt and Brew. It's actually called Australia. It's an Australia type of got a crocodile on it.
Of course.
So,
Yes.
according to this, it is notes of macadamia and mandarin with a milk chocolate finish. Can I taste any of this? I actually don't know. I wish I could be like that.
All right, Hanae, you may have 4 points.
Oh.
1 for having a hot drink, 1 for it being coffee.
It's actually cold.
Wait, why did I say 4? And 1 for a
You
new
felt
flavor,
like
so
it.
3. Okay, apparently I can't count. Can't maths.
It's okay. You're host. You can give
I
out
mean-
as many points as you want. You don't need to justify why.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I am currently drinking water, and I was previously drinking a chamomile tea with honey in it.
Oh.
So I think I deserve 2 points.
I think you do.
I think you
my
do.
only 2 points for the show, probably,
Well, Saskia, if you want, you can have
It's
another
more than
2
me.
points from me.
for being amazing. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
for being amazing
Damn.
and slaying at being a guest host.
Sure. Okay, now Rachel, what are you currently drinking?
I am currently drinking. It is a licorice and cinnamon tea.
Ooh.
And it mostly tastes like cinnamon, and it's quite sweet, and it has a really yummy aftertaste.
How
I
about that?
like it because when I drink it, it just feels very warm and lovely. And it's in a little harp mug.
Fantastic.
Mm.
With that. We love a hot mug.
Rachel, you said that one of your harps is called Seraphina or Seraphine.
Yeah, Seraphina.
Was that after the cat from one of the Princess Barbie movies? She has a cat called Seraphina. It's a little.
From Princess and the Pauper.
Yes, they have 2 cats.
Oh my God. Amazing.
I'm cultured.
It is. It is not named after the cat.
Well,
So the company is Venus Harps,
Mhm.
and the model is the Seraphim model. So the seraphim, like the angel,
Mm.
and Seraphina sounds like seraphim.
oh,
Yeah, that's why I picked the name.
Okay.
Very nice.
I like my reason.
Mm.
You're just like me. I'm just like you. I'll stop.
While we're on the topic of named instruments, Hannah, is your instrument named? Did you have a named instrument? That
So I did name it something ages ago, but I forgot it because I named it something in Elvish. So that was my own fault.
Oh, how about that?
So I stuck to something I would have remembered. But I have named my viola after Eowyn because she's a
yes.
badass female warrior who takes down one of the toughest villains
Easily the best kill.
with her
Best kill of the whole
skew, I may add. Sorry, Jonathan will only get that reference.
Yeah, only we'll get that. I want to hop in real quick. I have a
Oh yes,
violin.
Jonathan, what's your violin's name?
My violin that I use now is actually my sister's old violin because she used to learn violin with me at the same time. Then when she switched to viola, obviously she didn't need the violin. And then through a number of circumstances, I ended up with the violin. But when she had the violin, she called it Angelina. And it was the little sister of her viola called Angela. So I've got a violin called Angelina.
Aw.
Cute.
Oh, that's lovely.
There you go. Yeah. And she named her viola Angela because her friend who also played viola named her violin Jessica. So her name's Jessica. So they did like a little swapsies. So
Aw, that's so cute. So Jonathan gets 2 points for such a cute story behind his name.
yes.
Hanae gets 2 points because you named your viola after a kick-ass female character. And Rachel
yeah.
gets 7 points for just having 7 harps. So
That sounds right.
That's fair. That's only
Hey,
fair.
Rachel. Can you send us photos later? Or if you
Yes.
have them, I'd love to see them. And also, I love that all of them have names.
Well, I haven't named the 3 ones that I bought to rent to students. That way I don't get emotionally attached
yes.
to them.
Fair enough. You can't name those.
Wait, so if I became your student, would you lend me a harp?
If I saw a harp that was reasonably priced online and I was like, ooh,
That's a no.
I could rent this to someone.
That's a no. Rachel's like, cut off. No way. Amazing. That's
student.
the best thing. That is so good.
I can play harmonics on harps.
Well, like, I don't have a harp available to rent to you. So if there is one that I would buy a harp to rent to you, Hanae. That's how much you mean to me.
Oh, we should go harp shopping, though.
That sounds delightful.
We'll just be like, oh, look at this pretty harp. And you'll be like, oh, gorgeous.
Oh, my goodness.
And we'll have to bring your guinea pig book with us.
Yes.
Oh, no.
You have to compare it to the guinea pig. Like, esteemed harp.
Oh my gosh, we
have a harp like this reference picture. And it's a picture of the guinea pig.
We need it. No reason why.
Saskia, do you have a named instrument? I feel like you've been left out.
2 named instruments.
Is one named Squidward?
No, it is not. Oh, I have a student who keeps going on about Squidward. No, actually, yeah, that. And she wants to learn the SpongeBob song. Anyway, so I have 2 different clarinets, as you probably know. I have a B flat and an A clarinet. And my B flat clarinet is called Victor. And my A clarinet is called Evangeline.
Aww.
They are both named
that.
after fictional characters. I do not have problems.
Yeah, I mean, Hanae's viola is named after a fictional character.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are a bit more like Victor is from like this random anime, and
Wait, which
the other
random
one
anime?
is Yuri on Ice.
Of course.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Not
figure out which
surprising
one
at
was...
all. I was like, what could it be? Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah, I was trying to
And-
think of some anime.
And Evangeline is named after the character from Nanny McPhee. Because I
Fantastic.
really like that movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
I know.
That's
It's so
fair.
good.
It's a lovely name. It's a very pretty
Yeah.
name.
And Evangeline is such a beautiful name.
Exactly.
It is.
And just fun fact, there's also the firefly or star in Princess Frog is also named
Oh, that's
Evangeline.
right.
Ah.
He's so
And there's
This-
that really, yeah, I know. It's like one of my favorite Disney movies.
Very iconic relationship goals.
Mm-hmm.
Falling in love.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But I think we've kind of lost track of things.
Yes.
Saskia,
Oh,
what
yeah,
are
we
up
have
to?
Shall
What are
we?
we up to?
gone off track.
Okay, how do you feel about digital versus printed books?
I see Rachel and Saskia, obviously. You have a mountain of books. You have
Oh, I have very strong opinions about this. It's really bad.
can't wait
we
to
love
hear your very
opinions.
strong
We love
opinions.
strong opinions. I mean, evidently, given the number of physical printout books you have, in
You
the
already
living
know what
space,
the answer is. Yes.
I can only assume that you're not the biggest lover of digital format. I myself,
No.
I'm a bit more on the fence. Like I like the idea of having digital books, but I don't actually own that many, but I do have them. I own Artemis Fowl books 1 through to 4 as a digital copy. And then I have number 8 as a physical printout copy for whatever reason. And I don't have the others in between because I used to just borrow them from my friend. He actually introduced me to basically all the books I read as a kid. So thanks for making me literate. Essentially. But yeah, I'm sort of on the fence with it because I like having a physical copy. You know, it's like flipping pages is really nice. I like that sort of feeling of the tactile feeling of pages. But then also like being able to carry around an iPad and be like, and just knowing that I have like lots of books, just the idea of being like, look at this, I have all these books and I don't have to carry like physical kilos of books is nice. But yeah, that's my answer.
Sure.
I feel like my answer is that, like, as much as I love paper books, I also don't like how many trees we're killing. So if we planted more
yes.
trees, then go for it. But also, we're not. So maybe don't produce as much. And then people just, like, throw them out and stuff. We should also probably be buying, like, I know you go to the op shop and get to your, like, there's plenty of books there. That's always a good way to get a new book instead of buying a brand new one. I sound like a tree hugger, but, like, someone's got to do it.
Fair enough.
Hi, Rachel. You got your hand up.
I love the video format.
I know, it's very cute.
one of my favorite books that I've read a few times, I got in an op shop, and it's called Lost Girls, and it's not a very thick book. It's about like these girls who get stranded on an island.
Makes sense.
And it ends on a cliffhanger.
Ooh.
And I have no idea where the second book is. It's so frustrating. But yeah, when you said buying books from op shops, it made me think of that book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you not get your other favorite book from the op shop, which is Pride and Prejudice Guinea Pigs?
Yes, it was $2, and it's the best $2 I've ever spent.
What a bargain.
Just the sheer joy I get from Saskia's reactions is worth
I'm
it.
going to see how many times I can slip it into this podcast.
Oh dear.
Rachel,
Okay, Hanae, you lose 1 point.
Worth it.
It's fine. She still has 90 something to spare.
No, she still has like 100 and something points.
There you go. She's
So
fine.
worth it.
You're fine.
Hanae ends up losing because she keeps mentioning the Guinea Pig book.
Mentioning what book?
I don't know what book.
Oh my
I think it's
God.
a rodent book. What are you talking about? It's
A rodent book. I like that.
Yeah.
Rodent
That's
book.
great.
Yeah.
A rodent
Mm.
a
book.
fancy rodent book.
I will say for Rachel's situation, if you had bought it digital, it would be quite easy to then find the sequel, because they usually would be like, as a recommended book or something, or they might even come as a bundle or something. I don't know. But I'm sure if you looked
Wait,
it
have
up,
you ever-
you'd probably
Well, I
find it.
think it's from like the 80s or 90s.
Ah.
It's-
Okay, so it's not
Wait,
digitized.
so have you ever
Well,
looked-
Maybe.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried finding it
Yeah.
online from like
Probably,
eBay
yes.
or
I
bookshops?
think I searched it up, but I'd have to like order it. I'd have to like order it from overseas. So I just hold out hope that I'll find it one day. Pardon?
Nothing.
What did you say?
I heard it, Hanae. It's all good.
Oh, good. Someone heard
I
it.
completely missed
I'm
it.
surprised you missed it, but also it's a good thing you missed it because it might be a little surprise for you later. Me winking.
Or she'll hear this on the episode when it comes out.
Damn it. Okay, I said if you want a possible birthday gift for you.
Ooh, why thank
Track
you.
down
Yeah,
this
so
book.
just delete that from your memory.
Very
Yes,
well.
I'll just discreetly
Wait, so what's
send
the book
you
series called?
the title.
What's the book called? Lost Girls.
I'll just grab it from my shelf.
Yeah, this is really important. I actually want to look for it now while we're doing.
But yes, while that's happening, I want to go back to Saskia because I want to know what your opinions are. Opinions about digital versus printout.
I actually hate reading digital books.
Okay.
I
All right. Please
just
say
hate
why.
reading.
You hate reading?
No, I don't hate reading. I love reading. And also, like, just it's not as good as like books smell good,
There's
And
some
they
that
like
smell though.
you
like
have
bad.
I think.
when you get like a new book or one that's like not too old, it like smells really good. Like, you just
I'm sure
don't
they
get
do.
that online. And also,
that book drug.
and also, like, it's not helpful. I read books just before I go to sleep. So if I read it online, it would be
Full
unhelpful.
screen, yeah. Yep. The blue light.
Yeah.
That would keep you awake.
And also, I feel like just in terms of, like, because I walk around the house with books and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's not as easy to do if you have, like, an iPad or something. It's easier to just, like, I mean, it's not great, but, like, if you drop a book on the floor, it's not the end of the world, right? But, like, if you drop
This
an
is true,
iPad. Yeah. Usually when I'm reading, it's like part of it is to get off the screen. So reading it on
Yeah.
a screen would be,
Too easy of an access to this thing you're trying to avoid, yeah. No?
yeah. Oh no, it'd just be like undermining the whole point of getting off the screen because you would be
Okay.
on a screen.
Maybe I'd finally fix my sleeping schedule.
Yeah, Hanae, you should be reading Pride and Prejudice before bed to fix your sleeping schedule.
The guinea pig
Well, it'll
edition,
certainly
yes.
set me to sleep.
No. Jonathan, you lose 1 point.
Fine. It's fine.
Totally worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's so worth it, right?
Yes, exactly.
I feel like the
This
real aim of this
is just-
episode is to see how many points we can lose due to a certain book title. Our favorite book title.
but for Saskia, is a part of the appeal of having physical books also just the actual visual aesthetic of seeing it on shelves? Does that at all factor in?
Oh yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I have so many books. It's really bad. I have serious problems. I should not be allowed into bookstores.
That's so funny. Imagine like instead of like wanted posters of like burglars or something, it's just like a mugshot of Saskia and it's like don't let this bookworm into the shop. Fantastic.
No, but wouldn't she be welcomed because she's helping their sales?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That would give Saskia discounts so that she'd come back and buy more books. Is what would happen.
But that's just fueling the fire of the addiction.
Exactly. But it's not their responsibility.
No, they would actually be quite happy to fuel my addiction.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm
With all
happy to
the
watch
pages.
this.
They fuel that fire with the pages of these books.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
Carrying on.
My opinion on, in regards to digital print, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a sucker for a gorgeous book cover.
We love a gorgeous
Like when it's textured, when it has a beautiful design.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's just something so great about it. And it's nice having that physical reminder of, like you put time into enjoying this experience and going on an adventure that the author has written. So it's nice having like a little shelf commemorating all those different journeys.
And it looks
That's
so
very
pretty.
sweet.
I feel if I had...
My
I feel
vote
like
is with
if I
Rachel.
had all... I'm just so inspiring. Everything I say is just gold.
Rachel gets 5 points, please.
It's the takeaway. It seems to be the takeaway of this episode.
But yeah, I'm mostly just siding with Saskia. That way I'm always right.
Okay, yeah, Rachel
can't go
gets
wrong.
5 points. Yeah.
Nice. But I do agree. When Saskia and I went book shopping, I just started looking at all the covers like, oh, look how pretty this is. I had no idea what the book was about. I was just obsessed with the pretty. I like pictures. I was very close to like thinking of rebuying The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, the different book covers. I was like, you should.
Yeah.
Of course.
But also they look, some of
You
them
get
are
every
just so
version of it.
well done.
So, what do you look for in a book?
Words.
Haha.
I know, I should be a comedian.
When you go, okay, I'm going to read a new book, what are the things that you would generally be like, I want it to have this and this?
I want it to have clear and well-written prose because I've read some books where it's not clear and guys, it's not well-written and it just annoys me. I wouldn't name any books, but I have read books in my youth when I was younger and they're like weirdly popular and I was like, I couldn't figure out why they're popular. It was written like almost like a movie script. It was like, and this happened and then this happened and then this happened. But then I've read movie scripts. I've read scripts that are written better than this. So I was like, my point is this, it was just really long and it was just a checklist of things that happened. And the pacing was lightning fast because it was trying to get through all these things that happened. But it was like, no, but that's not the point of written text. Like, if you're going to write it like this, you should maybe shoot a film instead. Show me these things that happen. Anyway, that's my answer. I look for prose. I want it to be decently written, which you think would be a basic requirement for literature, but sometimes it's not.
No. It's a requirement for literature, but it's not a requirement for a book.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, that is fair. The whole point of written text is like, you know, it's timeless in the sense that you're not bound by like the physical seconds of a runtime of other visual medium. You can take as long as you need to describe something that's happening in a split second. As in a split second's time in the story you can take however long you want to describe that. So they weren't making use of that. They were just trying to blaze their way through events. And it's like, no, yeah, wrong medium, mate.
Yeah, books have such a great quality of just drawing you into the world with such like eloquent words, and it's just beautiful to come across a text that engulfs you and embraces you into this world that the author has created. Exactly. So it's sort of, you'd want the author to make the most of that medium.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And that's something I similarly look for in a book, someone or a book that just has a captivating writing style. Like I'm open to any genre, any sort of characters, just as long as it's written with heart and passion.
Yeah.
What do you look for, Saskia?
Well, that, but also I
Strong female lead.
tend to gravitate towards books with strong female characters and just like generally interesting characters. Like,
yeah,
I love books that have lots of different characters in that don't just have like a couple of main characters and then there are some side characters. I mean, those books are good too, but I don't know, it's really interesting to have a whole bunch of different characters
Naturally.
who are all, they're all unique and they all like interact differently and live different lives and that kind of stuff.
Very nice. And then, of course, that leaves Hanae. What do you look for in books other than words? Like you said before.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I guess that's the thing. I'm not sure. Like, is that a hand up? Rachel?
Yeah. Well, you said that some of your favorite books. Yeah.
Sorry, it was just really funny that you
said that you.
Yes,
Well, I
carry
don't
on.
want to talk over you because
No,
I know
I
I
love it.
have a habit of
I think
doing
it's
that.
No, I love it.
That's
I think we should.
adorable. Rachel gets 10 points for being so adorable.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate
So we
it.
have to record these from now on.
Yeah, I actually do like the hand up. I want
It's
to
good,
say
yeah.
that this is going to be a rule on from now on. Thank you,
Oh,
Rachel.
we got to add this to the show. I do like this. We got to add this to the show.
I love it. Okay, yes, continue.
Previously, you've mentioned books like The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, the Dirk Gently series. Very good series, I agree. Well, you said that you've seen the TV show, and there's a book series. I don't know if you've read it. If you haven't, you should. I've got all the books.
Ooh.
So, is something you look for adventure stories? Like, is that what you're drawn to?
Hmm.
Yes, I do like adventure stories. I also grew up, like, for example, reading Fantastic Five and Secret Seven, I think it was, and like
Ah, yes.
some of these books I wouldn't say were adventure ones. Like one of my very favorite ones as a kid was Millie Molly Mandy, and it was very adorable. It's about this little girl who lives in a village, and it's just about a normal day in her life of doing random things. And I'm like, that's not adventure, but I enjoyed it a lot. So I think, I don't know, it just really depends what catches my, hold on, I'll get to you say. What catches my fancy. And then like, yeah, I'm really big in adventure books, as you also know, and I love fantasy ones, especially because I love things that don't exist in this world because I wish they did. Yeah, what were you going to say?
So, with what you were saying about Millie Molly Mandy, is that the title?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other books that you mentioned, they sort of create, I know did you say Fantastic Five?
Yeah, Fantastic Five, Secret Seven.
Can't quite
They were
recall the
like
titles.
detective, like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
But they're like detective. They're like, have you read them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
they're
think
like
I did when I was
mystery
younger.
books.
And they're sort of creating adventures in everyday life.
Yeah, and I love that.
They could be interpreted as that.
That is so true. Because also, since they're kids, their imagination can be even wilder as well. Like the tram kids, they would tram car. What was it? Boxcar kids, I think it was actually. I think the very first book was them pretending to live in this little abandoned carriage, and then building a little house themselves, which is really cute because that's their adventure. They would run down to this little abandoned railway track, and then they would make up their own stories, which I thought was so wholesome because I used to do that all the time as a kid. I'd make up my own stories running around the house being like, yeah, let's do this. I think Ian Blyton wrote those books, and I actually read a lot of her books growing up. So I had like a lot of British English ingrained in my soul. A teenager and an adult, I actually haven't read probably a book in years. A full book. I've never gotten through one.
Okay, Hanae, you lose a point for that.
Yeah, I know. I was going to lose a point anyway. But like for ages, I've been struggling to actually get through reading books, which is kind of depressing. And when you were like, yeah, let's do a book episode, I was like, cool. But as a kid, I now remember reading so much. And I'm just like, I want to go back to that type of ability of me just perusing through books and getting through them very quickly. Childhood me, you'd be very
It's very
disappointed in future me for ditching our favorite books. But I shall go back to them.
Oh my gosh. This is relatable. I used to practice piano and read at the same time because we didn't have entertainment, and I
Oh
had to
my
do
goodness.
a lot of piano practice.
What a legend.
So I would just, I would just do right hand practice and then reading the book. Because piano practice is boring, guys. So I would do practice and then I would read the
Jonathan,
book.
I'm going to give you 10 points because that's pretty impressive.
That's so impressive. Oh my goodness.
Like, here's the secret. Once you memorize the 4-bar passage, you can just play that 4-bar passage for like 10
Wait,
minutes.
so did your
because you're
parents
practicing
know
that 4-bar
you were doing
passage. Oh, yes, undoubtedly. I got in trouble all the time because they'll be like, I was listening. You played that passage for 10 minutes, mate. It was already good after 2 minutes. You were clearly reading. I got in trouble all the time, but I didn't want to practice
That's
piano, but I had to.
iconic.
So I would just read. So I would just read
That
while
is
practicing. So that was my
amazing.
escape for that. But then once, of course, the advent
That's
of technology.
amazing.
When you don't have access to technology, social media as a kid, and your only escape while having to also do things is reading. You know, you end up doing a lot of reading. But there you go. That's my little aside.
That's so impressive. Can you still do that?
I think. Well, actually, what I do now instead is I listen to podcasts while practicing piano. I do that.
Okay.
I listen to
Amazing.
text things. Yeah. Yeah.
It's still pretty cool.
I do that
I'm more
instead.
impressed by the book
Yeah.
reading though, because that you have
Oh,
to
yeah,
like
that's
put the
fair,
book
yeah.
up on the piano.
And then I would hold it. Yeah, but it means I wouldn't be able to do two-hand
strengthening
practice.
the hands.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could probably do that on the organ. I could practice my pedaling on my feet and be like,
Oh,
Reading
there
a
you
book.
go. Exactly. There you go. Very quickly before Saskia tries to take it back to the proper thing, you were talking about Lord of the Rings, and that reminded me that I actually do have a copy of Lord of the Rings. Like, this is the one volume edition, which is rather appropriate.
oh my
It's
gosh,
like
yes.
it has very thin pages. It's like 1,000 something pages in here in total, just
For
because
the
to fit
index?
all 3 books in here. Yeah, and the index as well is at 1,137 pages. And then there's a text on the back, I think is quite nice for the show. It says, the English-speaking world is divided into those who have read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and those who are going to read them. So pick your category, folks.
Nice.
There is no third option.
No third
I'm
option.
definitely in the third option, though.
That's good. Get out of that third option. That is awesome. Jonathan deserved a point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, anyway, this brings us to our Jane Austen quiz.
Quick, Jonathan, get Spark Notes out.
It's going to be amazing. Okay, so is everybody ready for the first question?
No.
Okay.
Is it what is Austen's first name?
No, it is not.
Damn it, we're gonna lose.
Okay, the first question is, which novel famously opens with the line, "It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife"? Rachel for the steal. Yes, Rachel?
The beloved Pride and Prejudice.
Oh.
Yes.
I feel like I could
And
have.
coincidentally, it is the first line of the book with guinea
Oh
pigs.
no! Oh my god, Rachel.
Is it
Okay,
okay?
Rachel gets a point for knowing that. Okay, so second question, fact or fiction? Jane Austen agreed to marry someone but broke it off a day later. Hanae.
I'm gonna say fact.
Yes, it is.
Oh yes.
How about
So Hanae gets 1 point. Okay,
There we go.
Yeah.
our next question. Which Austen novel inspired the popular 1995 movie Clueless? Hanae.
Well, I'm clueless.
I'm gonna guess. Is it Emma?
Yes.
Oh my
Hanae
gosh.
gets a point.
I know nothing.
Do you
of
have a
Jane
list of the
Austen.
books?
I actually know that there is an Emma book, but I had to pull up what the rest of the books were. But they're all like saying Pride and Prejudice
Cheating.
about 7 times, so it's probably not going to help me at all.
Okay. So our next question is, what was Jane Austen's first published novel?
I feel like you told me this today.
This is just a guess. Is it
Okay.
Persuasion?
No, it is
Wait, no,
not.
is it Sense and Sensibility?
It is Sense and Sensibility.
Ah.
Hey,
So
I totally would have guessed none of those.
redeemed
does
myself.
anyone actually know the first novel that she wrote? It's not the same as the first novel she published.
Interesting. Did she end up
Ah.
publishing this, though,
Yes.
in the end? Okay.
It may have been published posthumously. Yes, the first one she wrote.
Was it Pride and Prejudice?
No, it was actually Northanger Abbey.
Ah,
It is not my favorite Austen book, I must say.
Scandalous.
Anyway, so for a bonus point for that question, I was going to say Sense and Sensibility was obviously written by Jane Austen, but what name appeared as the author's name? Hanae.
John Austen.
No.
Okay. Well,
Anyone
I was
else?
not laughing. It's because I thought she would publish under a male pen name because
A
being
pseudonym,
female
yeah.
and in that era, it sucked. So I was like, yeah,
yes,
let's go with John.
it's a good guess.
Reasonably.
Actually.
Thank you. Was I close?
No, not quite. Anyone else want to take a guess? Rachel, did you want to have a guess, or should I just say?
I can't recall.
So it actually said a novel published by a woman.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought we all had to guess names here. I mean, I love it.
Such an iconic
That
thing
is
for her
very
to do.
iconic.
It's amazing.
That is very iconic.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed it.
Well, there have been like several female authors who have published under male names. I have one right up here. It is called Middlemarch by George Eliot, who was actually a woman.
What was her real name?
Mary Ann Evans.
Mary Ann Evans. Okay.
Yeah. And so for my final question, it is worth 5 points, by the way.
Oh.
And actually, there are 6 points up for grabs.
Oh.
Guys, let's split
There
it.
is a bonus point. So the question is, for 5 points, name all Bennett sisters, and for a bonus point, name them in order from oldest to youngest. Rachel.
Oh, I was going to ask, could we do multiple choice, but never mind. Rachel,
Rachel's like,
please.
I've got this.
I've got this. Crack it, crack.
Yeah. Rachel.
We've got Jane,
Yep.
Elizabeth.
Yep.
Forgotten the middle one. It slipped my head. But then there's Kitty and Lydia.
Yep.
That middle one.
If Rachel can't guess them, can you give us like a hint of like their starting initial? And we can jump in with a
Sure.
suggestion?
M.
Mary.
Did I say
Yes.
Matthew?
Matthew.
Martha.
They're all sisters. I said, didn't I,
know
say that?
Yeah, you did. I couldn't think of a female M name.
Seriously? That's
Marilyn.
hilarious. Molly.
Martha,
Molly. Martha.
Maria,
Martha Stewart.
Maria, exactly. Margaret.
Maria.
Oh
See,
my
now they're
Margot.
coming to me, but M.
Okay, so Rachel, I will give you those 6 points.
Well done, Rachel.
Fantastic.
You deserve them.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's all this research, reading the wonderful A Pride and Prejudice guinea pig.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. I thought to wrap things up today, we could end with a song recommendation for the week.
Ah, Rachel was. Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to take a bragging moment for like almost a fun little
Okay.
thing that I forgot about. I am an actual published author at the age of 10.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Back when I was 10 years old, I was a part of this children's creative writing workshop where we were all had to write a book. And I wrote one that was titled Goldie and Hanae. This is how we got our dog, by the way, because I wrote this book about me buying a dog.
Oh my gosh.
I drew this on my computer.
Amazing.
I was so proud of it. But chapter 1, Hanae
That's so
sees a
good.
friendly face. If you want, I'll
Okay,
read this to you
Hanae.
guys later.
Hanae, I'm going to give you 10 points for that.
So we don't have to do it. But I remembered as we were talking about Jane Austen and her publications, and I was like, oh, I have a book that's been published. Yeah, so.
But Saskia's actual thing.
Yeah, let's go with
So,
Does
Saskia.
anybody have a song
um,
they'd like to recommend?
Sure, I'll go first. So the song that I would recommend for this week is on the Heartstopper soundtrack, because as you know, I have been listening to that a bit too much.
What are you talking about?
The song is called Paper Mache World by Matilda Mann.
Ooh.
Sounds intriguing.
I don't know. I just like it.
Cool.
Jonathan, why don't you go next?
I would like to recommend a piece.
Ooh.
Again. Yes, so John Powell recently released the deluxe edition, they call it, of the How to Train Your Dragon 2 soundtrack. So they're like gone and remastered all the old tracks, and they've released all the audio, like released all the music they used for the films, because the original release doesn't have all of it. So from this soundtrack, I would like to recommend track number 4, which was called Together We Map the World, which is a very lovely, really lovely track. And it's about the character Hiccup, and he's there, they've discovered another little island or archipelago, and they're adding it to this ever-growing map that he carries around with him. Just a very sweet, lovely moment. So that's what I'd like to recommend. A very lovely track.
I also recommend this track, but I'll do my own recommendation as well. Or I'll recommend it now. Sorry. I wasn't sure if you were going to pick on someone else. I'll just jump in. Be rude.
Just, yes.
As well as Together We Map the World, because I am a huge Sean Powell fan. He's so pretty. I love it. Besides How to Train Your Dragon, I would also like to recommend it's kind of a mix of a song and a piece, because it only has like maybe one word in the whole thing. But it's so gorgeous and kind of ethereal to listen to. It's called Sophia, and it's by Askjel, Iris, and Aurora. Highly recommend it. It's a very nice piece just to like kind of... I could imagine myself laying down outside, either looking at the stars or while it rains. I don't know. It kind of like opens up your mind a little bit, and it's like, whoa. It just feels expansive. I don't know how to explain it. It's very strange. That's my hot song. No, that's my song choice for this week.
Your hot song.
I was going to say hot take. Because I say it with Elliot.
I realized it's just hilarious. I think you should get 2 points for that randomness.
You're welcome. My hot song of the week.
The new segment. It's taking off. We're going to call it that now.
Can you please call it that from now on?
Okay, we'll change it to segment. Hot song of the week.
Yeah, hot song of the week.
All right, then.
Yes. Yes, no, it's happening.
Now
the hot song of the week.
Hot song. I love it.
Hot song. That's so good. The hot song of the week.
And Rachel, did you have a hot song of the week to share with us?
Well, it is completely different from what you guys have recommended. You guys have, I'm guessing they're very thoughtful songs that you've chosen. I'm just going to come out with this brilliant 80s song
yes.
that I think everyone needs to watch the music video. It is just spectacular. It's just dripping with 80s. You can tell it was made in the 80s. And the song
does it involve guinea pigs?
By no guinea pigs. Just you just have to see it. But the song is called Caribbean Queen, and then in brackets, No More Love on the Run. No More Love on the Run. So Caribbean Queen is by Billy Ocean, and it's like disco vibes, and it's incredible because he pronounces Caribbean in a way I've never heard anyone else pronounce it. He manages to rhyme it with the word dream. So it's like Caribbean Queen. Oh my goodness. Just
it's iconic. I can't wait to
amazing. You have to, I think everyone has to experience this song at some point.
Okay. So it sounds like we're experiencing this a bit later.
If any of you listeners out there choose to listen to this incredible work, I really hope that you enjoy it, like from the bottom of my heart. If you do go out and seek this song, like, I hope you have fun watching it. I hope that you can see the enjoyment, experience the same enjoyment I get from it.
Amazing.
You know what? I hope one day Rachel has her own podcast. Because I would honestly just love to listen. This is not a diss on anyone that's been on the show or at us, but the way she just speaks and recommends things, I'm just like, I would totally do that. She just convinces me instantly.
What we need Rachel to try and sell just like products that people don't want. And just that needs to be the whole show. It's just Rachel tries to sell you this thing that nobody wants. You have to see if you get convinced by the end of it. I think it would be an amazing show. You would, everything would sell.
Would you, Rachel, try to Spheri out? And would you try and sell one of us a docket? Like a receipt?
Is that a docket I see? Wow. Did you know that you can have some surprise coupons on the back of those? It's really fascinating, the amazing deals you can hear about, all from a simple docket. You might not think about it, but you know, the history behind it as well. You went to that store on the specific day and you bought that new drink that you tried and you were so excited to share it with us. And it's just amazing to have that little piece of history with you, carry it around in your little pocket and wallet. It's just delightful.
Oh my God, that is too powerful. That is too powerful.
Yes, Rachel, you get 10 points for that.
Yes, I second that. That was the best
Do you know what it is? It's like the genuine sincerity, like even though it's like 100% fake, but like you just believe it. You're like, yes, I want this because you're so invested in it. You're like, this has value. you're sharing the value of it. So we're like, oh, that's incredible. My gosh.
Yeah, either
I'm
start your own
incredibly flattered, thank
podcast
you.
or you're coming back on the show and you're going to sell us some more stuff because this was the best thing ever. Oh, my cheeks have not stopped like smiling. It hurts. I can't believe you just did that. That was amazing. Like that just proves the skill of
Zero rehearsal.
Yeah, she had no warning about this, guys. I'm not gonna lie, this was the greatest moment tonight. I mean, I've said
Oh my
that before,
gosh.
but no. I take back whatever was the greatest moment of my life.
It just
and
kept getting
is
better.
this.
It literally just kept getting better. This is, yeah.
Yeah, like,
Oh my gosh.
how are you doing this? Okay, right, Saskia, back to you.
Saskia, yes. We need to know what your song is.
The gracious host.
I said
Oh yeah,
my
she's already
song,
said.
remember?
It was the paper mache,
Oh.
I think.
Oh, sorry.
The beautiful Heartstopper song.
Do you have a
Yeah,
second
what's-
song you'd like to recommend, Saskia?
It's a Taylor Swift song.
I was
Oh.
actually going to recommend a Rihanna song, but I can also recommend a Taylor Swift song if you would like.
Why not both?
Do it for Adrian.
So I was going to
Recommend a song for Adrian.
I was going to recommend Love on the Brain by Rihanna because I am arranging it for our trio. So I have been listening to
Oh,
that
very
a
nice.
lot. But I would also recommend Lover by Taylor Swift because that's
Of
just a good one. I'm also
Mm.
arranging that for our trio, so that's going to be fun.
Oh, fantastic.
Adrian,
There
do you
go.
agree with the choice of Taylor Swift
Are
song?
you guys performing it?
Oh,
yes, if
you can't
Adrian's
go
listening to
wrong
this,
with
yeah.
the classic love story by Taylor Swift. So, something like that.
So do you have any more questions or closing thoughts for us, Saskia?
Have a good week and go off and read a book.
Wait, you gotta tell us who won though as well.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna bother adding up the points because I know that Hanae won with her 100-point advantage.
It'd be funny if Jonathan later on is editing this video. He's like, hang on. Saskia won.
So I got 4 points. Jonathan got roughly 23 points. There we go.
Mm.
Rachel got, I want to say, like 47 points or something. Something
Very-
like that.
Ooh,
And
math.
Hanae got a whopping 100 and I want to say 20 points.
I'll take it. Awesome. I think it's my highest point number.
This is mostly just me guessing. I didn't actually do the maths. I just
you know what?
looked at
Oh, that's
it
fine.
and
We
was
both
It's
like,
close enough.
maths.
The point is that we've got the order.
No, it's like 10:30. No one's gonna maths at this point.
I
It
can't
sounds
maths
about
anyway.
right. Hanae first, then it was Rachel, then it was myself.
Yeah,
This
so
was
basically,
fun.
if Hanae hadn't watched the 2 movies and got
would've
the
lost.
crazy 100 points, Rachel would have won, and
Then it
followed
would-
by
Then it would have
Jonathan,
been
and then
Then
Hanae.
me. Yeah, I would have lost.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why I
Well,
watched the
I
movies.
would have lost. I would have lost because I only got 4 points.
Oh yeah, sorry. Do you want another point? I'll give you 2 more points.
Anyway,
can I give Saskia 10 points for putting up with us for the last hour and a half?
Wait. And I want to give Saskia.
I
want to give Saskia 15 points for putting up with our favorite book, the Guinea Pig Pride and Prejudice series that will
I
forever
will
remain
take
in our
those
hearts.
points.
Oh,
I will
think
take them.
Saskia's now climbing the ranks. She's now. I think you've
Yeah,
definitely
honestly,
overtaken
have.
me now.
We're so chaotic. Wait, Saskia, did you tell us what drink you had?
Yes.
Yeah.
She had a
What
chamomile
was it?
tea with honey in it.
Wait,
Shout out to
you
you.
guys.
Jonathan
Why am I-
gets another point.
Hey.
Why am I the only one who
His
still keep it?
amazing memory skills.
Chamomile tea with honey.
That's right. Well,
Fantastic.
for those. Oh, okay. I want to say just before we wrap up, thank you so much to
Mm.
Rachel and Saskia. It was so lovely having you on.
That's
I
right.
can't wait to have you guys back in the future. If you'll come back, please. But it was very fun.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah,
a good
it was
night.
great.
I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I learnt more about Jane
Mm.
Austen. I learnt more about you
Yes.
guys and what books you like, which is very cute and wholesome. I totally want to go book shopping now and look at covers of Rachel. And while
I'll come
Saskia
and buy
judges
some
us
books.
for not like reading the
Yeah.
actual blurb.
Mm.
And Jonathan and I will go to the littering section to buy littering books for their covers.
For their covers. Yes, all the
Yeah,
different
of
editions.
course.
Yes, I was like, despite not knowing any of the answers for the Jane Austen quiz, it was in fact a good way to learn more about Jane Austen. So even for
It really
people listening,
was.
if you don't know anything, you now know some things about Jane Austen.
Just like we
So there you
do.
go. I think it's an
Educational.
overall win for everyone.
Mm. Thank you
It's a
for
win for
educating
everyone.
us.
Educating. That's it.
Anytime, Hanae.
I would just like to say thank you for having me on and
Thank you
inviting
for
me on
joining
to
us.
be a
Okay,
guest
yeah.
while Saskia hosts. It's been really lovely. Thank you for letting me geek out about harps and ramble about books.
And
And-
rom-coms.
I will refrain, yes, and rom-coms. And for one last time this evening,
Yes.
a guinea pig, Pride and Prejudice.
There it is.
Thank you for your patience, Saskia.
Sharp intake from him.
Your facial expressions were
It's
just
been
getting
an
like more
absolute pleasure.
pain. You're like,
More and more pain. Yes, I want to similarly say thank you so much for being on.
It's been such a fun night.
I'm very glad to hear that.
Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.
yeah, definitely. Well, two of us will. Maybe.
I mean, we won't see you next time, but they will be listening.
Save it. Amazing. Thank you guys. Bye.
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 Bye.